work for Vectra Bank Colorado in their commercial real estate division. Vectra Bank provides loans and lending services to companies and individuals throughout Colorado. Within my role, I provide loans to commercial real estate developers and investors. And as part of that, we provide construction financing for new buildings, as well as investment loans for existing buildings. So if you see a large office building, that likely has a loan, and that is something that our group would provide. We also provide lending services, so deposit accounts, any sort of checking, deposit, those sorts of things that you would have as an individual or that your parents may have. We provide those to companies. I've been working at Vectra Bank Colorado for 6.5 years, and I've been in my current role as a relationship manager in commercial real estate for 2.5 of those years. A college degree in finance, real estate, economics, or accounting is helpful for my job. I took classes in high school that were challenging, that I think that did help me prepare for this role. In particular, geometry. I review construction plans pretty frequently, and having a background, at least some familiarity with geometry is helpful. I would encourage you, as part of your high school curriculum, to try to do things even outside of the classroom, like reading the newspaper, staying up on current events, trying to spread your wings in terms of social studies and some of the other areas that you can really build on and provide a nice foundation going forward in terms of staying up on current events. So much of what I do every day is based on people's interactions in society and their interests. And I think a background in economics and social studies and staying up and challenging yourself in math is very helpful as you look to go to college and potentially go on to graduate school, and then to look at a career in banking. My career path did benefit from going to college and subsequently on to graduate school. I found that my coursework in real estate finance in particular has been a direct help to my job, my current role. And when I was looking for colleges, I was looking for the strength of the curriculum, but also I knew that I wanted to go to college and to graduate school where I wanted to end up living. And I think that was a really big part of my consideration. So the University of Denver, where I went for graduate school, ended up being where I have lived and have stayed, and that was really helpful. And I think the contacts that I made in the classroom and the things that I learned in my real estate finance classes and in just my real estate construction classes have really helped in my current role, but maybe even more importantly, they helped me understand the Denver market, and my professors helped me make the contacts that eventually allowed me to take the current role that I have. Yes, my job was around when I was an 8th grader, although I didn't necessarily know much about this job when I was in 8th grade. And I think I thought banking was really just more of a thing that parents went and took care of, and that you had checking accounts and savings accounts. And that was good to understand and provided a good basis for my understanding of banking. But I think banking is so much more, and we, in our role, specifically help out companies. And I think banking provides such a big part of what you see, and most of the buildings that have been constructed and that you see around in the community were often financed through a bank loan. And that was something that I really came to know over time and have continued to learn about as I've worked in banking. Some of the exciting developments that I see in the banking world right now that would open up new career opportunities are really just the development of tech, and some of the exciting developments that have allowed us to work from home during the pandemic and stay up on our work have really opened up, I think, a lot of new opportunities. And we see every day the impact of technology on our industry. And I think if I were to encourage you to do anything in your schoolwork, is really to try to stay current on what is happening in your computer classes and in classes that focus on technology, because I think that's just a continuing trend and something that we're going to see more and more of. And I also think to the extent that you can take classes that help you practice with Excel and some of these other foundations that I don't think are going away, that's really important. And I see the banking industry kind of trending more and more to be tech focused. And so while I think there's still a really important role of communicating with customers and a very personal element to banking, I think just make sure you're taking classes and stay current on technology. My day typically starts out with 1 or 2 hours of responding to email, both coworkers and customers. Then I will typically get on the phone and call customers and check in on 1 or 2 of the loans that I'm currently working on, making sure that internal departments and our customers' needs are being met. And a lot of times I will spend my afternoon focused on reviewing and editing papers and write-ups that my coworkers have put together for the loans that I have in my portfolio. Then I typically will end the day by reaching out and calling several customers just to check in on them, making sure that all of their needs are being met. So it's very important to have personal skills, be able to talk to customers as well as coworkers in trying to meet the needs of our customers. As I've indicated on a couple previous answers, my advice to you as an 8th grader would be to really try to stay up on current events, and I would read as much as you possibly can. And I would also focus on your coursework in terms of technology and Excel in particular, Microsoft Excel, and making sure that you really try to master these skills to the extent that you can during high school. And I think that the more that you read and the better informed that you are, the better your both your high school experience will be, but also your longer term job prospects, because we all need to stay up on current events. And I think the way that tech is moving and the way that some of this, the other areas, particularly in banking, are moving, we just really have to stay current and at the forefront of these things. The best career advice that I ever received was really just the mantra, and I know that it's somewhat cliche, but it's be the first to arrive and the last to leave. And I really believe that just even if that's just kind of a way of viewing it and you aren't actually the first one there or the last one to leave, I really think if you take that mentality to your workday, that it's very important. And I think the longer and the more that diligent you are at trying to put in the time to be the best employee that you can be has really paid off. And I think the more that you kind of look forward to going to work and realizing that you're contributing to society, the easier it is to really follow that mantra and be the first one to arrive and the last one to leave.